in the midnight oil tonight, trying to get the hood painted and the valance panel. Again, when you paint something and then you reach over to get some paper towels and then you knock it on the floor, more than likely, 99%, you get to repaint it. So it sanded down again. I was so mad. I'm telling you, I was just like ready to throw stuff. But the bottom of the hood turned out beautiful. The glass half full is that the bottom valance, skirt, whatever you want to call that thing, that turned out fine. There's no issues with it. So I just really have to redo the cowl, and then the hood, the bottom is masked off except for the edges. So that's really good. I got it all sanded down. Hopefully this hood's going to come out nice. And at that point, then Baby Yoda's going to have a hood, a valance panel, and I can actually start putting on a bumper and headlights, and oh my God, it's going to start looking like a truck again. Been working on the air conditioning, getting it put back together. Fan, heating and air. So yeah, so tonight I'm over here putting in some extra work, trying to get this painted to get the cab put back together. I still got the fenders to do and the two doors. But this will be really nice to have a hood back on the truck and the balance, then just start concentrating on the doors and the fender. So tailgate, sides, everything else. Yeah, I got a lot to do. Woo-wee, I'm getting some fresh air in there now. Looking pretty good. One more coat of white, and then I'll be ready for some clear coat. Good Lord. It is cold out here. I'm fighting the temperature outside, which is below freezing, but man, if I could just stop right now, I would be happy. This is looking nice. No trash yet. I'm waiting. But I think this hood's looking absolutely excellent. So I'm giving it a little extra time to flash out. I got to get good coverage. And then I'm going to use a medium clear because that fast clear that I used in the last video, man, it dried up so fast it was hard to get it to gloss out. So I don't know what temperature you need to spray that at, but I'm kind of trying to watch the temperature on the parts themselves using the temp gun. If this wasn't so funny, I would be so pissed off tonight. I set this up here to get it out of the way so I could finish the hood, and then I'll be danged if I didn't drop it again. One more time. I've dropped it like twice. You can see on this corner that the paint's jacked up, and right here the paint's jacked up, and across the top. So I get to sand it and paint it one more time. The hood came out really nice, so it's going to buff out great. So at least it was worth it. But this, if it wasn't so hard to find one of these for less than 150 bucks, I would buy it and stomp it into the ground because this thing is cursed. But that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to live with the hood being finished and being able to be buffed out. It looks great. This is pissing me off, I tell you. Jeez Louise. The hood, I think, turned out really, really nice. I mean, dealing with the temperatures and everything, I've got so much clear on this thing. It should sand out and buff just beautiful. So that is a positive. This thing, maybe the truck doesn't need a cowl. Maybe I just need to leave it off. I don't know. But holy crap. Next up is the fenders. Oh yeah. Well, I got the hood bolted on the next day, and it looks good. There's so much clear on it, it should buff out just fine. How many times have I said that? But I did lay the clear on really, really thick, so, and there's not any trash. Looks great. I'm happy with, you know, with white, it's sometimes really hard when you get trash in there, it's really noticeable. So as long as you can get it cleared out with a lot of thick clear on it, buffing it out, should look great. Oh Lord, another late night at the shop. The perpetual cowl painting goes on and on. I just want to know how many times I can paint this. I had to actually take sandpaper and take off some material because I think it's starting to build up about an inch thick on this. So maybe this weekend I can get it painted. The fenders, I've been prepping. I've got a little body work to do on the back side of this one, believe it or not, but I've got them sanded down, ready for some primer. Looks good. Tailgate. Here's the thing. If you buy a new tailgate and it's not painted, and then you don't paint it, then you get surface rust through the cheap primer that they have. So, I'm going to put some seal on it, which is amazing, to convert this over to metal and then prime the crap out of it. And then it'll be ready to shoot. Awesome. So, I'm moving ahead, these little pieces, parts, everything, and ordered a booth, another inflatable spray booth. I know, I've got like 4, but this one is small. It's 10 by 8 by 8, which will fit perfectly in here to do like hoods, doors, fenders, tailgates, because the bigger ones, I have really a hard time. It fills up the whole shop. I can't move around. It sucks to put it away. So I'm going to try a small one in here to do the little parts. Got the hood mounted. Everything's going to plan. No, it's not going to plan, but I am moving forward. I need a little primer on these, but I'm going to fix the fender first. Let's take a look at what I got going on. Somehow water got up in here and just sat, evidently, and rusted out, and it didn't get through the visible part, so this is all on the back side. So I'm going to put a little fiberglass in there after I treat the rust, and then this one will be ready to prime and paint. So I'll be happy about that. I don't even want to talk about this piece of crap. And then here's the tailgate. Going to put some seal on it, roll it on, and then it'll be ready for some high bell primer. And the inside, the back side's actually going to get, the back side will get bed coating. So really just concerned about the front at this point. That fender I sanded down today, and it's actually in really good shape, so it's just about ready to shoot. I don't even have to prime anything on that, I don't believe. This is the seal primer. It's like water-based, and they use it in a lot of industrial plants, factories, things like that, for like metal protection, to convert things that have rust on them. So it actually works really well, just as that little base coat. And it's thin enough where I can roll it on and then put some high build primer on it, and it will be just fine because it will dry down pretty flat. But if you don't treat the if you let it sit outside after you buy a unprimed, unpainted tailgate, then it will look like crap. So I wet sanded it down, and it's all just a little bit of surface rust, so not bad. Beautiful. It's going to be nice, I tell ya. The old tailgate had rusted out a little bit. So then I thought, hey, I'll buy a new one, and then let it sit out in the rain, snow, elements for 4 years, and let it rust. Absolutely awesome. Purple right now, but it will turn completely black and flat once it dries down, and then I'll shoot some primer on it and it'll be ready for some paint. Beautiful. There's the hood on Baby Yoda. Jennifer helped me stick it on there.
I'm going to wait probably a week before I start wet sanding it down. I mean, it's got a pretty good gloss, but it's got some orange peel in it. So I'll wet sand it down and buff it. Got a couple little spots on the windshield to buff, and then someday I'll have a cowl, I don't want to talk about it, to go on here. Once I get the fenders done, holy moly, I can go ahead and start putting all the front pieces on. It'll really start shaping up at that point, and then I can start working on the doors. Alright, I got the cowl painted for the third time, and what I think I'm going to do is put it over my head and run around the shop on the outside yelling, "I got it painted," and then I'll drop it again. Alright, so the game plan. See those fenders over there? I've got a new booth coming in tomorrow, which is supposed to be like 8.5 foot wide, which will be perfect for this size. It'll also come back to about like where this cab is. So when I pull the truck out, I can just inflate that booth and do the small stuff rather than shooting outside where I froze my butt off tonight. Because I can't paint in here really and get dust everywhere and nasty crap. So that's the game plan. By this weekend, have both of the fenders painted, ready to go on, the valance panel on, and start working on the doors. And this cab, for all intents and purposes, will be finished. I got to put the headliner in, but then I can start moving forward with bumpers and lights and all that other garbage. So that's kind of the game plan at this point. Heating and air is ready to go back in. I've just struggled with like this little stuff, like this valance, painting it 3 times and wanting to throw it. Painted some bolts to go for the fenders underneath the hood, and I painted this with base clear with some flat speedo coat, and it came out absolutely beautiful, like the factory flat finish. So that's awesome. Hopefully I'm ready to start moving on with some expedited assembly. God, I can't see anything, the sun's right in my eyes. Anyway, I've got a new paint booth to try to get some of this stuff painted and not do it outside, keep it contained, not get dust everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I've been looking for a refrigerant line, which I cannot find and cannot buy. So hopefully I'll find that here in a little bit so I can get the air conditioning put back together. Who knows? But I'm going to go ahead and check out the new smaller paint booth where I can like do a tailgate or a hood or a fender or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get it unboxed. The paint fumes coming out of the back are pretty strong, but in here I don't smell anything. Not getting any dust or paint fumes, so it's doing what it's supposed to do, and it's also making it a lot easier for me to paint. I'm going to put a little more primer on this, and then I'm going to start painting a fender. Well, the paint booth works really well. However, my prep work left a lot to be desired. So I had to end up sanding again and primering the fenders all over because there was just too many bad spots to be able to fix. Sometimes you can do it on the fly, but I could not on this one. So it's going to dry overnight, and then I'll wet sand it, and hopefully tomorrow I will be able to shoot these fenders. Good Lord, it's cold this morning. I've been wet sanding after putting primer on the fenders yesterday. I'm gonna get them washed off real quick and then let them dry and then start shooting some paint, hopefully. The primer looks really good though, so should be good. Yesterday both of the fenders had issues, small issues, but issues nevertheless, and I couldn't just sand them out while I was painting, so I went ahead and re-primed them. I've sanded them down this morning and I'm making sure they're completely dry, and then I'm going to shoot some white paint. While I've been painting, I buffed the hood out, wet sanded it down with 2000 grit and buffed it. It looks absolutely awesome. So 2 good coats of clear on there, we should be in good shape. Fighting trash, fighting everything, fighting. Alright, so I got this one done. I got one more to do. Somebody's trying to sneak up on me. He's always eating. Why is he always eating? Oh my God, he's got popcorn.
Brought you a box of popcorn.
Oh, did you? It looks like you're eating it.
Oh, I got.
Look how gray he's getting. Holy crap. Man, it's coming on fast too. I mean, look at, oh, holy crap.
Out the pot on the kettle gray.
Well, I've been gray for a long time. What's going on today? Were you running sound?
No, we had rehearsal this morning.
Oh.
Had lunch at Connors, and now there's the
another lunch at Connors? Wow.
Now there's the circus that's going on. But you're missing something here.
No, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's a flatbed now.
It sure looks a whole lot different.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Really?
Randy, stop. Have some vision.
How long has this been going on?
Oh my God. 4 years. I've got the hood sanded down. It looks absolutely awesome. Very flat. Most of the garbage and crap is taken out of it, so I got to buff that out. And I've been working on the headlight buckets and one of the fender things. The hood polished out really, really nice, I'll tell you. It's got a little bit more polishing to do, but not much. For the most part, it looks great. I got a little bit right here on the edges. Got to be careful on the edges. I hung the fenders. They look great. They need to be wet sanded and buffed, but not quite as much as the hood. So she's starting to look like a truck again. I'm waiting for the condenser to come in, and I'm working on the headlights. I'm very happy with that. That's going to be it for today. However, there is progress being made. It's got fenders on it. A hood has been buffed out. I've got an opportunity to put on a bumper and grill and everything else. So keep watching. The progress is slow, yet ploddingly slow. So I appreciate you watching. Any questions, comments, post them below. I think I'm going to have to go get my eye looked at where Randy threw popcorn in it. Any questions, comments, post them below. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.